All right, hello. We're here in Kinderhook talking about the new road grader. FiatAllis is the name of this machine, and you can see it right here with these decals. I believe it to be a 1988. Could be newer, but it's not older. We'll start right at this front blade. You can see this blade's an 8-foot blade. It's heavier than heck. You might look at the road grader and say, what do you use the blade for? And the blade is simply, if there are piles in the road that you got to get smoothed out, it's a lot easier to use this blade than it is the main blade. I love this thing. We do a lot of tailgate spreading on the jobs I do. If the tailgate spreader leaves a big pile, this is the thing to use. It's hard to straighten it out with the other. You can, but it takes extra trips. I'm very happy with this thing. The one drawback is it is very heavy. So you got 1,000 pounds, I'm guessing, for this blade sitting out in front of your machine all the time, 99% of the time using it. You hope you never use it, but it's good to have. But when you talk about the weight of this machine, you're about 13,000 pounds. This very easily puts it over 14, so you're roughly 7 tons. Just so we get to it there on the specs, the machine's about 22 feet long. We've got a 10-foot mull board. The span across the front of the machine is about 6'6". The height of the machine with the roof is just a shade over 9 feet. That only becomes important when you load it on a trailer. So this is a big, small machine. The question, the guys try to use a smaller trailer, and the question of the height and the weight are the two main factors. As we look at this thing, it's like brand new. You could see as we're right here with the tires here, they are 15, 19, 5 tires, very unusual. The man lifts use them, but there isn't much else in the world that uses it. And I still have to get it to the shop. I don't have the lights working on this thing yet, and a few other little things that I want to get squared away, so the thing is perfect. Let's just look one more time here at the front here, Eric. You come around to this side, we can see this has the lean. There's the cylinder for it, right to left. When we start it up, we'll show you that. If you were digging shoulders and that kind of thing, the lean's important. I don't do that. I use it for finished stuff, so I'm running straight all the time, but it is set up for that. Does not articulate. This is just right at the end before the machines became articulated, so this is the last of an era. Almost all road graders now would be the articulating kind, which gives you an offset, which gives you way more power and able to do a lot more with the machine. But we don't have that. So you can see here the turntable on this machine. I've got her greased up. Lithium grease and a little bit of regular grease. I just greased the whole machine. Any place where I get leftover, I put it on the table, spins around. Lithium is good. The dust, which is a huge factor when you're working, doesn't really get caught up on that quite as much. So as we come down, we can see the blade. The mull board's a 10-foot board, and it slides right and left. If you see here on the back, after you're done, Eric, you could see the slide right here, and that goes right to left. We'll show you that when we start up. Quite a amazing tool. All road graders got it now. The old road grader did not have it. It's a great piece. It lets you swing out a little further without using the machine to get out. So we'll climb up in the seat of this thing afterwards, and you can see the panel up there when we do. You can see it's a 65B, which automatically designates the year to a degree. As I said, I believe this to be a 1988. In this case, you can look up in the top, Eric, you can see we've named this one the Boss. Reminds me of my father, and that's why I call this thing the Boss. Very strong machine and very decisive. So here we are. We've got a good view of the brake lines right here. And this one for sure is standard brake pads, and each wheel has their own set of brakes. So, and one other thing while we're talking about the brakes, here we go with this emergency brake. This thing is still the old-fashioned, grabs on basically to the flywheel, and you can see this baby locks it. All right, let's go on around here. We got their new decal that stands for FiatAllis and short-lived as it was, it's still an interesting decal, and everybody seems to like it here. Let's just take this pad off. We can see the engine here. What we've got is a Fiat engine. They doubled up everything. There's double fuel filters. There's double oil filters on the other side. There's a hydraulic filter. Everything is doubled up on this thing and runs like a top. It's an interesting engine. They rate this thing, they call it bulletproof. I've not had any trouble with it, all kinds of power. It's an 80 horsepower machine, so you've got tons of power. Diesel, obviously. We'll open up this magic little box. We've got one of the 2 batteries in it, and this one I think I got to replace. I think she's tired, but it still goes. All right, let's swing over here to the back. The thing about this machine that makes it a little bit different, they've added on those back 2 tail lights, and they're good. They've got them up in the air, so if you're going down the road, you've got safety situation here with the blinking lights. As I look at it from the back, we're going to be putting on a backup camera. The eye for it will be all the way in the top, and be able to look down, and I'm guessing we'll be able to see this close right here. But it'll be on all the time. It's a huge factor with the backing up, being able to see. On the last job we were on, I was surrounded by people. We were doing we did almost 2 miles of road at the farm next door. And we're here at upstate New York. If you're ever in Columbia County and you're looking for fruit and supplies and vegetables, I would recommend going to Samascott's Orchards in Kinderhook, New York. They have every kind of vegetable, every kind of everything, huge amount of apples. They are great with everything, and we've had a banner year, and they've got everything you need. A lot of pick your own. Good day to be out in the field. Eliminate your stress. Go out and pick some apples or vegetables. It's a great, great thing. A lot of people come up from New York for the day and go out there and pick, but I highly recommend the Samascott Farm in Kinderhook. So here we go. We're going to come on around to this side. We'll take this cover off. Again, more engine stuff, but these latches are entertaining, interesting. And again, I'm telling you about the double filters on this thing, double oil filters. Everything is super heavy on this thing and well thought out, and you know, clean as a whistle. This particular machine has a 35-gallon fuel tank, obviously diesel, and I worked all day. We actually worked a couple of 9-hour days on that last job, about a half a tank of fuel. Not quite as heavy on the fuel. I thought it would be thirstier than it was. Very happy with it. Eric, you're looking at the serial number on this machine. It's pretty clear to see. I've looked it up. There's not a lot of these machines out there. That's how I came up with the year on what it is. I'm not positive. I say 88. It could be newer. It's not older. And basically, this side's got the one mirror. I've got to get one for the other side. Doesn't have it. I'm sure it had it originally on the other side. Once I get that backup camera, still to see the 2 side mirrors is going to be a very great thing. This side's exactly the same as the other side. A ton of grease fittings. I just greased this thing the other day. Lots of grease, and everything's ready to go. Okay, Eric, we're getting ready to go here. We're going to activate the kill switch, which is a nice feature. Shut it off at night. If there's any draws or you've got anything going wrong, doesn't kill your battery. So here we go. We're going to switch this thing to on. I'm putting this back. We're ready to go. We get on up here, long step. I'm going to be adding one more step to this thing when I get the thing in the shop, but I don't have that yet. Just so I'm talking here before we start up, these are my 2 pins I carry with me all the time. This is the markers that I have out there that I set when we're doing tailgate spreading, so that that spot I want the material to start is right there. All right, let's just see here. We got to put everything in neutral. And we've also got a fuel switch over here, Eric. You can just see this shuts the fuel off and it winds up. That lets the fuel come in. Now, if everything is equal, she's ready to start. Oh, baby! All right, let's go right up to the front, that front blade. right. Now we're going to go to the wheel lean. Eric, you want to be right in front. You'll see that. Okay, we got that. Now, we're going up with the blade over here, Eric. Get this up in the air. Here's your... We're going on back. Now we're going with the blade shift. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start her up again. Lay down. We'll go, All right. All right, that's our walk around for today. I appreciate everybody watching the video, everybody tuning in. If you like it, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. And one other little note on Kinderhook, if you're ever here, just so that you know, the 8th President of the United States is from Kinderhook, Martin Van Buren. Born here, died here. Only a one-term president, but kind of interesting. Sleepy little town like Kinderhook has a president of the United States. And the last thing I would tell you about Kinderhook is it is the only place in the United States where it's fashionable to be a hooker.